Don't do that, Murphy. Don't disrespect the law. Don't disrespect the law. Don't disrespect the law. The law says don't touch me. The law says don't touch me.
Welcome to Christopher. I chose this title for this documentary series about my cousin because it made sense to me. As we were growing up, he hated that name. So I figured this person that we saw in that video, that's who he became. Okay? So as I'm telling these stories for the next couple of days, I just want y'all to know that it's for awareness. It's for awareness for SA abuse. It's awareness for physical abuse. It's awareness for mental abuse. Okay? This is to help someone that's mentally ill to get the right treatment. And that's what I hope that this video can find for him. Hopefully that it can generate so much force that it can find the right help to help him become who he was. You're not going to know the facts until you know how he was built, okay? We're going to start from the beginning. And the most best way to do it is to hear from his mother.
My name is Lita A. Ingle, I-N-G-L-E. I am the biological mother of Christopher Michael Cardona Nee Havens. When I lived in the projects over in Flushing and Latimer Gardens on Linden Place, that's how I first met Margie, because I met her when we were like 5th or 6th grade.
Okay.
She used to be playing in the projects over there because Marina lived there. I was going to Catholic school, and then my mom took me out, and I ended up going to the public school over there, and I met her because she was in my class. And we became friends and everything, and I mean, time passed, and I should have gotten a clue from her right there, the type of person she was, because I had another friend that lived across the street from her named Gail. Gail was a black girl, very quiet, minded her business, very smart. And Margie and them used to pick on her. And then I started hanging out at this bar in Flushing called the Shannon, and I ran into her again. And Mommy Barrera lived upstairs over top of the bar in the apartment. And, you know, we became friends. I mean, we really started hanging out and everything, and we became like sisters. And when we were younger, we said, okay, well, you'll be the godmother of my children, I'll be the godmother of your children, yada, yada. I grew up in not a nice home. It was nice until I was 10. My mother got married, had my brother, had my sister. My stepfather was abusive to her, and he started becoming abusive to me. First it was physical, and then he raped me. And this went on for several years. I was in the house, out of the house, in the house, out of the house. The cops kept bringing me back, whatever. So later on, like I said, I ran into Margie again, hanging out in the bar and stuff, and we resumed our friendship. We picked it up and we hung out and whatever. Younger than her. I think Ruben was like 18. She was like 21, 22. And he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And cocaine at that time. I was just like, have my couple of drinks and smoke weed or whatever.
Right.
I ended up going to Job Corps. I was 20. I was like just at the cutoff line. My aunt had got me in. Well, I met this guy up there, and we were messing around, and that's Chris's father. But I had a boyfriend, so I didn't know who was the baby daddy until Chris got older and he started looking like his dad.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. That's true.
About 8 months pregnant, and I woke up one morning. I got a picture in there that I sent you where he's sitting in a yellow chair with some toys or whatever.
Yes.
I had breakfast. I got up. My stepfather was wherever the hell he was. I don't know. I think he was locked up or whatever. And I felt wet. So I thought my water had broke, and the chair was covered with blood.
Oh, no.
So they rushed me to the hospital. My mother rushed me, called an ambulance, went to the hospital. And the doctor there put me on a monitor. She said I was having like Braxton Hicks, which is like pre-labor. But also I had torn membranes because he was a big baby. He was 9 pounds, 8 ounces, 21 inches long. And so
it's a big boy.
They gave me an ultrasound. I stayed in the hospital 24 hours. They sent me home. She sent me home and she said, there is no way that you're going to be able to deliver this child. You're not gonna, your hips are not, something's wrong with my hips. My mom has the same thing. We can't pass birth. So they told me, it was gonna be a C-section.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, his due date was July 5th.
Oh,
And it was the 16th and nothing. I had nothing. So the 16th, I started going into labor like in the mid-afternoon, went to the hospital. There was a doctor on call named Dr. Roberts. He was the OB/GYN attending. He told me to go home. He said, go home, come back when your what breaks.
what? And he knew that
So
you.
11 o'clock at night, I couldn't stand the pain no more because I had labor in my back. I had back labor.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back in there. They hooked me up to the fetal monitor and everything. And I thought they were gonna do surgery right there. And the doctor's like, oh, you just stay on the monitor. You're fine. And I said, you need to look at my records from last month. I was here. I had a hemorrhage and whatever. Well, he just chose to do his own thing and ignore it. I stayed there from 11 o'clock that night, and then finally at 8 o'clock in the morning, he got a hold of the surgical resident that was for the OB/GYN department. They took me into the labor room, and before that, I had started throwing up like green stuff, and I was feeling really sick. I had a fever, it went up. By the time they delivered Christopher, he was born blue. He
Oh,
had aspirated all the amniotic fluid plus marconium, which is the first waste that the baby releases when they're born.
right.
So he literally swallowed his own shit.
Oh no.
He was born blue. I was still out cold because I had a cesarean.
Right.
They got him in the NICU, got him breathing and everything. They put him on a ventilator. And I think the only thing that really saved him was his size, because had he been a little baby, I don't think he would have made it. But he had grand mal seizures, he had kidney failure. There was all kinds of shit wrong with him. Margie, my mother, and my sister had seen Christopher way before I would. They wouldn't let me in the NICU because I had a fever.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
he stayed in 33 days. I
Right.
would go up to the hospital, go to the NICU, put my hands in a little thing and feed him the little bottles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the social workers were coming in my room saying, well, and I know they were like doing it for risk management or whatever. They said, well, this child he lost a lot of oxygen. He was a blue baby. You are probably going to have a child with cerebral palsy, and you're young, and you should probably consider putting him in a facility when he's old enough, and all this shit. And I cussed them out and told them, get the fuck out my room. I got so angry, they came in there and gave me Valium because I was losing it. I couldn't see my son. Y'all are telling me. My mother comes in, tells me, I was practicing Catholic at that time. She was like, well, let's call Father Sweeney in. He was one of the hospital clergy or whatever, to give Christopher last rites. I
Oh.
hadn't even seen my son yet.
Oh.
So anyway, PS forward, I go back, live with my mother. My stepfather comes back in the picture. And when Chris was 5,
Mm-hmm.
Margie was over the house. Alexis was in the crib. I was pregnant with Rennie. And my stepfather went off because she wouldn't give him no blow. So he threatened to hit me, her, and everybody else with a baseball bat. We go outside. She goes to the phone booth to call Elkin.
Yeah.
And he came, and then Alexis and Rennie's father, Renee, came, got into a physical altercation with my stepfather, and her father sliced my stepfather's hand open with a knife.
Oh wow.
So they locked him up.
Oh.
So my mother, I call her because she was at work, and I'm like, listen, you need to come get this or something. You're going to have to make a choice between me and your grandchildren or this motherfucker.
Oh.
So she chose him. She told us, maybe it's better you go stay with Margie. She was living over in Belrose that time in Queens. So I went over there, and I had Rennie working for a car service at that time.
Okay.
And I was supposed to be going to work, but I took off and went out and hung out. So when I came home that night, all my shit was on the porch. And I knocked on the door. I said, what is this? She said, well, I know you didn't go to work and blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, so I'm here, you know. Well, you need to go or whatever. The court bullshit started. She had went and got foster care status or whatever. I know they were paying her. She wasn't doing the shit for free.
Right.
And Christopher told me that she told when I got put out, she told him that I said I didn't want nothing to do with those kids and I was done and I left, which was not true.
Right.
There were court dates that I was supposed to be at in family court in Jamaica that I didn't go to because they made sure I didn't find out. She got into cahoots with my mother, and my mother went to court with her or whatever and testified and told the judge that me and Margie had the same father, which is a damn lie.
Yeah.
Just so she could get the kids easier or whatever. I got locked up in 94, in June of 94, and I
Mhm.
came out in August of 96. And when I was in there, I wrote a very long letter to Chris. I had found the address wherever the hell they were staying at. And she told me, she said, I don't know why you're sending him letters because he can't understand that and he can't read that and he don't want nothing to do with you. So, I mean, I proceeded to, you know, move on with my life. And at one point, I was hearing after Elkin was murdered or whatever that she was in witness protection, and that I was never going to see her or my kids again. It's been like she has always dangled my kids like carrots in front of me, like, you know, oh, I'll let you in so much, and just when I'm thinking that things are going to start improving.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's basically it. He was already born with mental deficits. I mean, he had such anger.
Couldn't even get in contact with your kids because she just wanted to be greedy and take the money.
Yeah, pretty much. Once when
When
all
did
this
what?
happened with Chris during birth, down to Manhattan, Lower Manhattan,
Right.
and I had hired Kellner and Kellner.
Right.
Kellner and Kellner law firm was the same law firm that represented the subway vigilante Bernie Getz back in the 80s.
Okay.
The woman that handled our case, she was an RN that took law because she was tired of seeing people go through these medical things and they're just losing out. So she
Mhm.
became a malpractice attorney. I
Okay.
started the case, but in the interim of starting the case, this is when all this shit happened when I ended up living over there with Margie, and then
Mhm.
she put me out. So she just continued the case after she had foster care status or whatever. Flushing Hospital went into bankruptcy for many years until New York Hospital bought them out, and that's when the suits began to be paid off. So that's
Gotcha.
why it took him so long from 1984 till 2001 to get his money.
Oh, but you the one that started it, but she. But
I started the suit. I started the case
now, do you think that?
against Flushing Hospital and the doctor.
Do you think that she kept your kids because of that?
Yes, I do. I think she knew that he was going to get a bunch of money,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I don't even know when she began hating me, like really, because the same week, well, October 5th of 1993, that's when Elkin was shot.
Right.